After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where's the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star in the east and have come to worship him." Now when King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. When he'd called together all the people and the chief priests and the teachers of the law, he asked them, "Where was the Christ to be born?" "In Bethlehem in Judea," they replied, "for what the prophet has written, but you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people, Israel." You know, Jesus is our ruler, and he's referred to here and is described as the Good Shepherd. Now, he's a good shepherd who tends the flock. Jesus will never leave the flock untended. In fact, you know, the night that Jesus was born, there were shepherds. What were they doing? Keeping watch in the fields at night. Why? Because a shepherd will never leave us nor forsake us, and that's our ruler. He also feeds the flock, preparing a table before them in the presence of their enemies, meaning this, a safe and secure place to eat, and he's picked out all the poisonous plants that are around the flock so that they can feed just like this without any worry, because all the food they'll be eating is good food. So he also protects the flock, because around the flock are those wolves and others that would threaten to undo them. But when the shepherd's on the scene, that good shepherd with the staff in his hand and a rod in his hand protects those sheep, and they have nothing to worry about. And they are tranquil and protected and at peace because they know the good shepherd's here. You see, he's our ruler and he's a good shepherd. He also, if one goes astray, he leaves the flock and goes rescues the sheep. And so if you ever lose our way, I want you to know that the good shepherd is always going to come after us and rescue us, put us on his shoulders and carry us back to the flock. You know what also the good shepherd does? Is he nurtures the flock. The Bible says this, that he carries the little lambs in his arms. So even now when you see depictions, artistic depictions of the Good Shepherd, you'll often see him, like as in our church stained glass window, carrying a little lamb in his arms. He nurtures us. I love our ruler. He's a good shepherd, and he's contrasted with another ruler named Herod, who when he hears the King of the Jews is born is disturbed. And so then he tries to do away with this ruler by force. You see, the world rules by force and coercion, manipulation. But our good shepherd, he doesn't do that. You see, he goes out in the front and he leads the sheep. And his sheep then follow him because they have a relationship with the shepherd, the good shepherd. They've come to know the shepherd. That's what it's all about. That's what our ruler intends us to come to know him, so that we could trust him. We trust his heart, because the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep, so that the sheep can eat in peace even if they hear something threatening in the background. They have no need to worry, because the one in authority, the good shepherd, is right there beside them. And the one with all authority is going to protect them. Even he laid down his life for us so that we could become his. Also, the sheep will listen to his voice. The question today is, who are we following? You know, when Jesus, our Good Shepherd, calls us to follow Him, He goes out in front of us. He doesn't drive us like cattle. He goes out in front of us and calls us to Himself. And so we must willingly, as a choice, choose to follow Him. Choose to listen to Him so that we could come underneath His care, His nurturing, tending us, providing for our every need, also protecting us, and also knowing this, that when we become His sheep and His flock, we'll know that if we go astray, He's going to be coming after us. He'll rescue us. And then there's times when we are weak and He brings us up into His arms and nurtures us, reassures us, calms us, brings us close to His heart, and that calms us. And sometimes we need a little extra love and care from our Good Shepherd, and He'll always be there to give that to us. Now, why would anyone want to follow anyone else or come up underneath His lordship and ruler? Well, the Bible makes plain that we all like sheep have gone astray. Each of us have turned to his own way. And so we must make a decision that says my way is the wrong way. My understanding is not His. And I end up in a difficult spot. I'll end up in a place called hell. I'll end up far from God. I'll end up in ruin. But I choose to turn from my own understanding, from my way, and I turn to Jesus, the Good Shepherd. And I'm going to place myself underneath His care. I'm going to become one of His sheep because I've heard His voice calling for me. I hear it, and I place myself in His flock by faith in Him. He has just come and rescued me and placed me among His very own. I bow my knee to the Good Shepherd and say, Dear Lord, I give You my heart. I give You my mind. I will listen to You. I choose to become a follower of Christ. Save me from my sins and make me one of Your very own. It's just that simple. It's just that simple to become a follower of Christ. And I pray that if you've never made that willful decision to turn from your own way and place your trust and faith in the Good Shepherd, I pray that you would hear His voice calling for you. Come, follow me. Well, may God bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you and light your way.